It's a simple question. Who are the best defenders on the Houston Texans? The answer in determining the order is a bit more complicated, but we'll get to the bottom of it. Presented by my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. My guy Dwayne is the best in the business when it comes to anything associated with your air conditioner, from repairs to replacements, which is what I had done, to just simple preventative maintenance. Platinum AC and Heating is the best in the business. Give them a call for any of your air conditioning needs. Who are the top defenders on the Houston Texans? And I know what you're saying to yourself, Cody, this is pretty easy to figure out. We know who the top guys are. And yeah, you know who the top guys are, but can you put them in order? And do you have a criteria in which you put those players in order? Plus, we're going to take a look back at how I thought about it last year and how that's changed coming into 2025. So to be the top defender on the Texans, the criteria is pretty simple. How damn good are you? Okay. That's the biggest thing, is how good are you? Okay. How likely is it that the Texans could survive a short-term absence with that player? And then how likely is it that they would be sunk if that player wasn't playing? I think those are the three big elements to determining who the top four defenders are on the Houston Texans. And before we look at 2025, let's take a look at 2024. I was pretty well on course, but a little bit off course at the top and the middle there as well. So my honorable mention a year ago was Christian Harris, and that did not go well. I thought Christian Harris would pair well with Azeez Al-Shaair, end up being a really dynamic and entertaining linebacker duo, and then Harris basically didn't get on the field at all. I know he played a little bit at the end of last year, but it was nothing to write home about, so got that one wrong. Azeez Al-Shaair at 4, solid player, good player. I don't know that he ever entered into great for the Houston Texans, so you could probably make a solid argument, a sound argument, that he didn't really end up being one of the top 4 guys. I nailed the next 3. I just don't think I got the order correct. I put Will Anderson behind Danielle Hunter. That did not pay off the way that I thought it was. I know Danielle Hunter had an excellent season, and he was awesome and incredible and amazing. Just feel like Will Anderson's a bit more of a complete player. Now, Hunter played more games than Anderson, so that's something to factor in. And then, hey, I had it nailed a year ago. Derek Stingley, really good at what he does, and then Derek Stingley still really good at what he does. I don't think the top's going to be much of a surprise for you, but honorable mention through 2. Let's get into it. My honorable mention this year, I'm putting Azeez Al-Shaair in the honorable mention category. The Texans' stud linebacker. And I say stud because he's not a star. And I don't know that Al-Shaair will ever become a star for the Houston Texans. I don't know if that's something that's going to be in the cards for him in his career. It feels like if he was going to be a star, he would have already got to that level. But Al-Shaair does a lot of stuff that we probably don't notice and see. Just getting everybody in the right spot, organizing the defense, putting it together. And he missed some time. And the Texans did an okay job filling in without him when he did miss a little bit of time. But you still rather have Al-Shaair in there than not in there. And I don't love the backup options behind him in being able to replace him should he miss a long amount of time. They could survive a little stretch without Azeez Al-Shaair. I just don't know if there's going to be a long stretch that they could survive without Azeez Al-Shaair. So he checks in as the honorable mention. All right, here's the top 4, 4-1. We'll go with number 4 here on this list. I'm going with Danielle Hunter. Yeah, Danielle Hunter, number 2 for me last year, number 4 this year. And look, Danielle Hunter, very good at what he does. He was a pressure machine last year. He had more sacks than Will Anderson. Just feels like Danielle Hunter doesn't quite bring it as much as some of the other players in a complete capacity. Feels like Anderson's a little bit better in the run game than Hunter is, and they do rotate him quite a bit. And there's some options, not great, but there's some options if Danielle Hunter had to miss, a couple of weeks. And if you didn't have him for, say, a whole season, well, you'd still have Will Anderson, in theory, in your hope in that situation. So I'm putting Hunter at number 4, and I'm prepared to eat my words on this just because – there's a chance he could get even more sacks. He's more familiar with the defense. He understands it more. He understands more how to train for exactly what they want him to do. So I could very well be eating my words after the incredible season that Danielle Hunter had last year, but this is more predicated on his spot in the list because of what's behind him and what would happen if you didn't have him. It's a little bit more difficult at other positions, as you'll see when we get to number 3. Kamari Lassiter. And then look, Kamari Lassiter wasn't even in consideration for my top 4 and an honorable mention last year, and now I'd be a fool to leave him out. He's sticking in here at number 3. Lassiter is a huge piece to what the Texans do. It gives you the confidence to go out there and trust those DBs to make it difficult for guys to get open so that it helps out those defensive linemen, helps out the linebackers, helps them do their jobs. Lassiter is a surefire tackler. He had great stats last year. One of the better guys in catch rate allowed in all of football, one of the best on third down as well. In that, Lassiter was excellent last year. In a short absence in 2025, you could probably cobble it together, but you wouldn't feel really good about it. If Lassiter missed a lot of time, boy, you'd be praying to the football gods that the Texans be able to figure this thing out with some combination of Jalen Smith, Damon Arnett, and whatever else the Texans would put out there. Remember when you didn't have Kamari Lassiter last year and D'Angelo Ross had to fill in, and Jordan Love had a perfect passer rating targeting D'Angelo Ross? You remember? Because if you don't, I just reminded you. That's how important Kamari Lassiter is by virtue of the fact there's just not as much behind him as some of these other positions, and combining with the fact that he was excellent last year and he could be even better this year. He certainly is one of the top defenders here on the Houston Texans in 2024. We'll get to 2 and 1 here in a moment, right after I tell you about my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. Dwayne's the best in the business. I had my air conditioner go kaput on me in the early part of summer. Summer's already started here in Houston. It's been going for weeks now, and that was no good. I was struggling. It was 80 plus in here. The air would blow, but it wouldn't blow cold. It was awful. He explained what went wrong, the chance that I had to repair it, some of the concerns if I just repaired it versus replaced. We decided on a full replacement, and they were done just like that. Dwayne made it easy. He explained everything to me. It was a seamless process, and he can do the same for you. 5-star rated by the Better Business Bureau. From repairs to replacements to just simple preventative maintenance, making sure your AC is running at its best, blowing its coldest. Dwayne and Platinum AC and Heating can do everything for you. Give them a call if you need them today. Give them a call for that preventative maintenance plan. When you need an AC guy, you need the AC guy, and that's Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating. By process of elimination, you should have determined exactly who number 2 and number 1 are. And when I tell you 2, you're going to know who number 1 is. So let's get to number 2. I'm kidding. It's Will Anderson. You thought I almost got you there. It's Will Anderson. Will Anderson checks in at number 2 for me. Pass rusher extraordinaire, run stopper extraordinaire, pressure percentage, just a nonstop motor, and I feel like he's still getting better. There's still things to unlock to his game. He got 4 sacks better last year. If he gets 4 sacks better this year, he'll probably be leading the NFL, and certainly if not leading near the top of the NFL in sacks. But he brings it in the run game. He is constantly pushing things and adjusting things for opposing offenses into his teammates. He makes everyone else's job, all 10 players on the field, he makes everyone else's job easier when he does what he does at such a high level, and he does it relentlessly. He is the embodiment of the swarm mentality. He is the engine that makes that defense go in the front 7. He's awesome, and I cannot wait to see what he can do in 2025. There's a chance Will Anderson is one of the best defensive players in all of football in 2025. Is it likely? I wouldn't tell you likely, but there's certainly a chance that he turns into one of the best defensive players in the entirety of the National Football League here in 2025. And you're saying to yourself, well, Cody, if that's the chance, how could he end up as number 2 and not number 1? Well, there's a couple of options. If Will had to get banged up for a couple games and miss time, there's a couple of options to fill in for him. Plus, you'd still have Danielle Hunter in a perfect world if you didn't have Will Anderson, and you'd still be able to provide a little bit of heat on opposing quarterbacks. Plus, D'Amico Ryans could maybe scheme around a 1 or 2 game absence for Will Anderson. You miss him for the whole year, you're in big trouble, obviously, but that's the case with any of these top defenders for the Texans. So if Will's number 2, you know who number 1 is. All-Pro Sting. Derek Stingley is number 1 here. He is the best player at his position amongst any of the Texans. As good as Nico Collins is at wide receiver, he's not as good at wide receiver as Derek Stingley. Same with Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter. They're not as good at pass rushing defensive end as Derek Stingley is at cornerback. He's awesome. He's amazing. He stayed healthy for an entire season last year. And if he stays healthy again for the entire season, he'll have played 47 games straight for the Houston Texans, getting into Iron Man territory after the injuries popped up at the beginning of the career. Guys don't throw at him. When they do, he intercepts the ball or bats the ball away. He rarely loses. The passer rating against him was microscopic last year. He is so damn good at what he does, and he is the top defender and has a chance to be the best cornerback in football in 2025. And if you're the best cornerback in football, you got a chance to be the defensive player of the year. Derek Stingley could win the award. Pat Surtain showed us last year that DBs can win it. Derek Stingley could certainly be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year this year. And if you're in that conversation, you're certainly one of the best players on your team. And Derek Stingley, the top defender in 2025 for the Houston Texans. What say you? Who did I miss on the list? Is my honorable mention wrong? Did I get the order 1 through 4 wrong? Let me know in the comment section down below on your way down there. Thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Memberships are, of course, active on the channel. If you're a member, you're going to get early access to videos. You're going to get member-exclusive content coming your way as well. Maybe you don't want to sign up in the summer. You definitely want to be a member when football season gets here. And, of course, you get the custom emojis when we do the live streams as well. So appreciate everybody who is a member. If you're not a member, your viewing experience is not going to change. It's just a bonus for you, and it's a way to support the channel. Certainly appreciate you for watching, thumbs upping, sharing with your friends, subscribing to the channel. If you're a member, thank you. If you visit our fine sponsor, Platinum AC and Heating, if you talk to Dwayne, tell him Cody Stoots sent you. He'd love to hear from you if you have any sort of air conditioning issues, from repairs to replacements to just preventative maintenance. Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating is the best in the business. You're the best fans in the YouTube business. Appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.